John Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods. We're here located in Homer City, Pennsylvania, and today we got the newest addition to our inventory to show you, this being a 1968 Chevrolet Camaro. Now, nothing too out of the ordinary about this car. It doesn't have any of the Z badges or SS badges. It is just what it is, and that's a Camaro. Now this one, you can see it's done in the midnight blue color here. The paint's very smooth, very shiny the whole way around on this car. Of course, it does have the white Z stripes up over the hood and up over the rear deck lid and rear spoiler on the car. Starting here at the front, we've got down below our front air dam. You've got the chrome front bumpers. You've got the bright wheel lip moldings here also. As we walk back here, I'll just call out what I'm showing you here, and that is we've got a nice set of BF Goodrich radial TA tires on this front and rear. Tread on these are very, very nice, probably close to 100% on these things, and they're mounted on a set of really nice looking Krager SS mag wheels, and these are 15-inch wheels both front and back. Now, of course, we do have, so I don't forget here, the 327 fender emblems, and that does signify what is underneath the hood. Now, this has also the Camaro script emblem back here on the back side of the front fender. We got the bright rocker molding here down below, and then you can see our fitment here of our doors. The gaps on both the front side as well as the back side here, very uniform on this car. And as I look down the side of the car and look at the elevations, you can tell that the elevations on this car are dead on. Real nice fitment on all the panels here. Now, you do have this bright work here along the top of the door and quarter window area. That's in real nice shape. Those are real straight there. Also, your bright drip rail moldings. Those are in really good shape. There's no dents or dings, and they're polished up really nice in this car. This car does have the driver's side mirror, just manually adjustable, not a remote mirror or anything like that. So, but again, it's in good shape. And as we work our way to the back of the car, quarter panel here, again, nice and straight with the rest of the car. Those bright wheel lip moldings, the BF Goodrich tires, as well as those Krager SS wheels. Now, the other thing you can see from the side profile of the car here, you notice it does have the rear trunk spoiler on it, as well as those chrome bumpers on the rear as well. All right, now that we're around the back side of our 68 Camaro here, we can take a look at a few things here. We'll start up here at the glass. All of your trim that goes around that glass is in real nice shape. It's not dinged up or anything, polished up real nice. The glass itself is in real nice condition also. There's no scratches or chips in that glass. And that is a slightly tinted rear window also in this car. Your trunk back here, you can look the whole way around here. Look at the gaps the whole way around, very uniform. Look at the elevations here, along with your quarter panels here, and those look to be very, very good on this car. As I mentioned, we've got that rear trunk spoiler, along with those white Z stripes that come down the deck lid, as well as that rear spoiler. Our tail panel itself, nice and straight. That has the your tail light bezels here. Those are in good shape. They're shiny, not really pitted on the back end of this car, as a lot of them are. And then the areas that are blacked out on them, they are in really nice shape on both sides. As far as the lens covers go, the red lenses for the brakes, the whites for the backup, those are in good shape. There's no cracks or chips in those. Again, that rear chrome bumper, nicely polished up, looks good, nice and straight. And your lower valance here, that looks to be in really good condition too. It does have a locking gas cap on it here, and again, you can see it's got that Chevrolet emblem right there in the center. We'll go ahead and pop the trunk on it here real quick for you and take a look inside. First, you can see that the underside of the trunk painted that same midnight blue as the rest of the car. Nice and shiny underneath here as well. The trunk hinges also in really nice shape. They're painted up. The seal here around your trunk looks to be all brand new, all intact. There's no tears or no pieces or chunks taken out of it. It's in really good shape. So again, nice and soft too, so closing that lid, that's going to seal up real nice from the elements outside. As far as the trunk itself goes, we have this custom, it's a carpeted trunk mat that goes in here. That's in really good shape. And then the trunk itself painted the correct black and aqua trunk spatter paint that it should be. And again, those trunk floors are just as nice as can be, all solid one-piece floors. Drain plugs intact on that as well. So again, everything very nice back here. We'll go ahead and close this up now. And you can see it closes real nice and easy, seals up nice there too. All right, now here on the passenger side, we can take a look. As I look the whole way down the side of this car, I can tell you that the side of this car, very straight. I look at the door also in relationship to the quarter panel and the front fender up there, and I can tell you that the elevations on all that stuff is very, very good. Everything's been adjusted up real nice for us here. We've got these the side marker bezels. Those are in good shape. They're not pitted up. Got those bright wheel lip moldings, the BF Goodrich radial TA tires mounted on those Krager SS wheels. Again, all of the bright work and trim on this car, the drip rail moldings, the molding here along the top edge of the door, and again your rocker molding here, those are all in good shape. Our gaps on the back side of the door as well as on the front side of the door, very uniform front to back, very nice fitment of the door. Again, we have a passenger side mirror in this car as well, so you're going to be able to see on both sides of the car. The trim work around the windshield, that's in very good condition. Again, nice and straight, polished up real nice. And again, your glass up front here, there's no chips or cracks in that. Glass is in good shape. Again, we've got the Camaro script emblem, the bright wheel lip molding up front, and then you've got that 327 emblem up front here to tell you exactly what's underneath the hood on this car. Again, looking down the side of the car from front to back now, again, looks nice and straight, no waviness whatsoever down the sides of this car. Real nice fitment, real nice finish on this car as well. All right, now we've made it all the way around our Camaro here, so now we're finally at the front end of the car. Everything up front here looks just as good as the rest of the car. We've got, again, that black front air dam underneath, that plastic air dam, the chrome front bumpers here that are in really good condition, and this black grille, all intact. There's nothing broken out of the grille, all solid grille work here. Now again, our lights up here, these are your traditional sealed beam headlights. So you got your highs and lows all contained within the same unit here. Glass lenses, and these lenses are in good shape. There's no cracks or chips in any of those. All the bezels around those also painted black as they should to match up with that grille, and those are in good shape. Your turn signals, your parking lights up here, those are in good shape. The lenses on those are good and solid. No cracks or chips in any of those. Of course, you got your header panel here, that looks good with those stripes blown on here. And again, these are painted on, they're not vinyl, and it looks to be that everything has been cleared over too. So looks really good up here. Got the Camaro script emblem on your header panel as well. Now this particular car, it's got the steel 2-inch cowl induction hood on it. Stripes up over that, paint looks good on that. You can also look the whole way around our hood here. Check out the gaps the whole way around. Check out the elevations according to the fenders here, and everything looks to be really good on this car. We're going to go ahead now and pop our hood. And what we'll see underneath here is you got the black paint on the underside of the hood here. And then as far as the interior compartment here of the engine here, we've got the, looks like to be like a satin black finish on the inner fender wells and the cowl. Then on the motor itself, this is the original numbers match 327 cubic inch small block Chevrolet engine for this car. Numbers match, we checked out the numbers. The partial VIN is stamped on the block, so we know that that is the correct motor for this car. It's got the chrome air cleaner on it, along with some chrome valve covers. It has probably what is the original 2-barrel, what I believe would be the Rochester 2 jet is what they called it on there. but that's what's on here for a carburetor. It's got the stock cast intake on it for the 2-barrel as well. Now it's painted to look like an aluminum intake, but it is the stock cast intake. It's got the oil filled tube here just as it would have. We've got some of the stainless braided line treatment throughout on, say, like the heater lines here and your radiator hoses. Some of the fuel lines too there have it. We do have a chrome booster, brake booster, and we have a polished master cylinder over there, just to add a little bit of pizzazz, I guess, to the underside of this car here. We also have some long tube headers here that go into those dual exhausts with the dual mufflers and the tailpipes on the car. Everything else is pretty stock here though. Got stock pulleys on it. We do have a steel 4-blade steep pitch fan on here that's going to help cool this motor down, keep all the water and antifreeze cool that's in the radiator. It's a stock radiator with the plastic shroud on it, as it should be. It retains the stock style ignition or distributor in it, along with a stock style coil. And then it does look like they've got some aftermarket plug wires on there, probably a 7mm wire, I'd have to say, but they look to be good, and they're routed good on this car also. Now the fender braces on here, most of the time you're going to see either black or like a chrome fender brace. These ones are painted silver though, just to give it a little bit of variation here underneath the hood. So that's really about it. Again, numbers matching motor here. And I believe on the transmission, I think it goes into a Power Glide transmission along with a 10-bolt GM rear end there. So that's the drive line under here. So we're all done with this. We're going to go ahead and close this up, and then we'll take a look at the interior on this car before we put it on the lift and before we go ahead and start the engine for you. Alright, now we're inside our 68 Camaro, so we're going to take a look at what we have in here for an interior. As you can see, we've got an all black vinyl interior. This is just your standard interior here for the 68 Camaro. Black door panels, black upholstery on the seats, black carpeting, black headliner. Again, everything all black. Got the factory dash. It is the padded dash, and the pad on the dash itself is in excellent condition. Probably a newer piece here. It's not cracked or dry rotted or sun bleached like you'll get in a lot of these cars. It's in really good shape. Factory instrumentation on this car, and what that includes is the factory 120 mile an hour speedometer, and then we got a factory fuel gauge on here as well. Now as far as aftermarket gauges in this car, we do have a few. First and foremost, you can see the column mount tack up there. We also have an aftermarket water temperature gauge, voltmeter, as well as the oil pressure gauge there as well. So that's all of your gauges there. Got a sports style steering wheel. Now this particular one is a Grant wheel. Real nice, got some thick pad on it so you can get a hold of it real good there. Real comfortable to drive with. We've got the factory heater controls as well as a factory automatic center console. Now again, this was the Power Glide. It's got the correct shift indicator in here, and then it's got that horseshoe shifter in here as well. As you can see, front bucket seats here, got the correct bench seat in the back. Everything's all matching. We've got all seat belts are in this car, front and rear, as well as the shoulder harness belts that are tied up along the headliner here on each side. As far as radio goes, they have updated the radio in this car. It's got a custom auto sound AM FM digital radio. Real nice unit because you don't have to cut out the dash to do that. It goes right in the factory hole. Never know any difference there other than it's just a more modern radio. As far as everything else goes, again, carpeting's in great shape on this car. No tears or holes in the carpeting. Your seat covers, there's no tears or holes, or I don't even see any wear marks on these seats. So real nice upholstery in here, front to back. Headliner's tied up nice and tight. Has all the correct bows in it as it should. Even the sail panels in the back, a lot of times you'll get those on these older cars that may not fit real good, but these look to be in really good shape, and they're just nice as can be. So that's really about it for the interior of our car. Before we go ahead and get this on the rack then and start it up for you, I'll just add that you can always check out all of our photos and our videos. You can contact us by calling us or sending us an email or visiting us at our website www.hanksters.com. And as I've been telling everybody now in our videos, we do have the capability that you can go onto our website now and you can actually text us any questions or comments that you might have about this vehicle or any other vehicle that we have in our inventory. All right, now we have our 1968 Camaro up on the lift. So we're going to go ahead and take you through the underside here of the car and show you exactly what we see underneath here. So starting at the front, everything suspension-wise on this car, it's just your stock stuff here. So your stamped lower control arms or lower A-arms, your upper A-arms, that's all factory, stock components there for your suspension. Even the steering linkages, your drag link, tie rods, that's just all factory stock stuff. But it is all in really good condition. I'm looking at things like the little rubber dust boots on all of the ball joints, everywhere, on your control arms, on your tie rod links, all of that stuff. They're all intact, they're not cracked, they're split out. They're all doing exactly what they should be doing, and that's keeping the grease in, keeping any dirt and debris out of there so that those ball joints and bushings and everything all remain good as long as they possibly can. The springs and shocks look to be in pretty good condition on the car too. Now as far as running gear here, let's start with the tires here and the wheels. We've got all 15-inch wheels on this car. They're all the Krieger SS mag wheels, so it gives that nice classic look. The chrome on the wheels is all very nice too. And we've got all, they look very, very new, BF Goodrich radial TA tires. Just to give you an idea, and we'll see this from the outside of the car too on all of our pictures and videos, you'll see it's got 205 60 15 tires up front, 255 60 15s on the rear. We also, for braking power, this does have some upgrades on it. It's got disc brakes both front as well as on the rear, and they are the drilled and slotted rotors too. So those are going to get you stopping real quick. The drilled and slotted rotors, they're going to cool down quickly too, so you won't have any brake fade either. Now as far as driveline on this car, we have the original numbers matching motor here, and this is a 327 cubic inch motor here that we have. It's backed up by a Power Glide automatic transmission, which everything looks good. Looking at the pan here, it's not dented in, it's nice and straight. The mount for the tail shaft on the transmission is in good condition, and you can see here your transmission cross member here for the tail shaft. That's very straight, not a mark on that thing, so you can tell it wasn't beat up in any way. The frame rails here, the subframe, those are in real good condition, nice and straight, very square, and those haven't been touched either. They look real nice here. The body bushing is not bad either on this either. You can see we have dual exhaust the whole way back, starting from the long tube headers, coming all the way back, complete with the crossover pipe here. We've got dual Flowmaster mufflers here, and then of course we've got the dual tailpipes out the rear of the car, as they should be, between those rear leaf springs and the quarter panel on the car. The floor pans on this car, they look to be all the original pans. I don't see any patching. Of course, there's no holes or anything to speak of on this car. All the pinch welds on both sides here are all very nice too. Again, I don't see any replacement panels whatsoever on this car. Even when you look up underneath here in the transmission tunnel, no patching or anything like that. Drive shaft's in real good shape here. Universals have all been checked out, and they're really good. Got a 10-bolt GM rear end in this car. Now this is a non-posi unit. So yeah, just your 10-bolt unit, 8.2-inch ring gear on this car. You can see for rear suspension, we've got the monoleaf rear suspension on the car. And then of course they've gone in and added in a set of air shocks here, so you can adjust the ride height on the back of the car very easily just by hooking an air hose up to the line and airing it up to wherever you like it at. Again, stock gas tank back here. and that's in really good shape. No dents or dings or any kind of marks on it. Just sprayed black, the same color as the undercarriage of the car. And from what I can see as far as the trunk pans go, those look very nice. All one piece, all good and solid. No patching whatsoever to speak of there as well.